So again, good evening and thank you for 14 tayo lahat ngayon. So I have good news and bad news as I have said. So ang good news natin is earlier pala tayo matapos, hindi end of August but August 16 ata. 14. So ang end natin ang end of summer is August 14. So that's the good news, diba? Hapit na tamahuman. 1 week na lang. Oh my God. But the bad news is ang deadline po na to sa atong requirements is August 14. Parehara istoryahan, no? So
Ma'am Din, mura magyapog bad news.
Dili, ang good news is that, di ba, human na atong klase. So, human na mag-isa ka subject supposedly. Although this is actually for most of you, special subject lang siya, no? But hopefully, it's a it's a big help sa inyo hang OIP when you do your writing or your OIP gani. Ako ang tesa. So we are already done with the sample manuscripts. So we will do the IMRAD now. So what is IMRAD? So last time, marag naputol ta dari banda, but it's so igang here. Nan-on na ako ni ha. So choosing a journal in which to publish. So I guess tapos na tayo niyan. So if you have much open citation index. So these are actually kaning mga old na ni siya, no? So take note of from the very start, you should aim at getting the paper seen by the right audience. So like when you select your topic, when you select, first of course, you're interested on it. So ikaw yung writer and you're the one who wants to learn. And sino ba yung gusto mo ma-sharean, no? And it's because for the readers, it's not only for you. So ito na ata, the IMRAD chapter 3. It is for you. So you should aim na mas maintindihan siya ng readers mo. Ito. So we are now on this topic, the IMRAD. The IMRAD format for presenting research papers. So what is IMRAD? So si Paul yung author ng book, ha? So ano yung IMRAD? Anyone? Ano si Stephanie? 15 na tayo. Asan ang video? So anyone, sa ang IMRAD for you?
Acronym na siya, ma'am.
Yes, stands for?
Production, method, results, and discussion, ma'am.
Wow, very good, Kier. Ikaw ang first honor. So, it's for introduction, methods, and results and discussion. So IMRAD is actually the format that our school or the RNC research director is using, no? And in fact, if you have seen doon sa ating topics sa finals, so nandito yung publishing or research presentation. Ay, wala din na. Pero in this one, nakalagay actually yung call for papers. So this is the for the call for papers, this is we use the AIMRAD kasi that's for abstract kasi it's a result na ito, pero for it's actually for IMRAD, no? But AIMRAD ang ginagamit ng RMC Research Office for this. So, but we're still going to talk about, hopefully matapos natin yung finals. But ito, konti lang naman ito, rundown lang ito kung ano itong. So next is, so we've been talking about, ang ano lang natin is that for you to, for you to understand ano talaga ang IMRAD. So for as it stands for introduction, so materials, result, and discussion. So ito yung established approach in writing, publishing, scientific research na. And yung sa atin nga, AIMRAD yung tawag natin kasi with abstract. So it has become pattern na when we do for publication in many disciplines. And we've been talking with the academic council na for thesis manuscript, why don't we use the AIMRAD, no? The AIMRAD in student researches or student reports. Kasi why do you have to do a lot of appendices, a lot of review literature, which are not usable for publication? Kasi usually for publication, hindi nakasali talaga yung RRL. But you have noticed kanina sa qualitative yung sinubmit, hindi kanina, last time na pinakita ko, sinubmit namin na qualitative research paper, meron siyang selected na mga review of literature. Like kung ano yung, ano ba ang topic na meron kami? It's about the concept, no? The concept ng particular ginamit namin na concept or theory. Yes? So it's been classical already and it will fit all disciplines and it's very systematic. So we can use this always as possible. So and of course, although may pagka-IMRAD din yung qualitative paper na binigay ko, but then much detailed yun. So aside from introduction, ito na yung pattern, no? So as a review, I know we've been talking about how to write the introduction, and I already have given you yung example of the specific how words na used in some of my researches, in some of my papers. So again, for introduction, it will answer the question, what led to the work and what are the objectives? So like I have said, yung dapat lang talaga nimo na-explain sa introduction is yung kanyang rationale. But before you present the rationale, introduction or rationale, by the way, is just the same, no? But you can use either the rationale or the introduction. But when you do a proposal, it's more on the rationale compared to the introduction. So they use the rationale instead. So you set the background. What is the importance of your topic? And what is the problem? And why do you study this? And you present the objectives. That's why in the end of the introduction, meron tayong objectives. So in the materials naman or methods, so ano yung ginamit mo, paano mo yung ginawa in the methods. And in results, what happened, ano yung mga lumabas. So usually yung table, isinamarize mo na lang kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng table na pinresent mo, or in what we call as figures, for example. In conclusion, what are the implications of, in discussion, so anong ibig sabihin ng result na yon, no? Kung ano ibig sabihin, does it prove your hypothesis, or does it, like, if the data that suggests na effective yung ginamit mo, or very helpful siya, or is it an efficient control, something like that. And sa conclusion mo, what are the implications of the result? So therefore, kasi as I have said, kapag descriptive lang yung research mo, although research pa siya, as long as there's no statistical analysis used, then it's not really conclusive. Therefore, in your conclusion, you will just say, it is just a descriptive observation or whatever, and it is not conclusive to say that that what you have experienced or observed in such particular farm are true to all settings. Ganon. But then if you, in your research, kasi sabi, kahit descriptive, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya research pa din yun. So you just use surveys, observations, personal experience, and also interviews in doing so. But there are also descriptive na, or narrative that you can also, like when you have questionnaire or survey questions, you can make use of the t-test, no? Kasi yung t-test lang kasi is a statistics that you're going to use if it's answer the question yes or no. Baby, please, the electric fan is so hot. Thank you. So going back, conclusions. So if you say that, if it is like for t-test, no, or gagamitin mo siya, like sasabihin mo in your theory, let's just be agriculture, sabihin natin na in this season, mas madami siyang, ano bang problema natin in terms of, let's say, corn borer. No, mas madami siyang corn borer kapag it's summer. So, pwede siyang gawing t-test, no? Kasi kung totoo bang during summer, so you will, one group of observation is during summer, one group of observation is, of course, during any day or rainy day. So parang ganon, or except for summer. So for pag yung t-test mo nag-significant, so it means sabihin may difference. So yun lang ang pwede mong i-conclude, no? So oo nga, may different. Let's say halimbawa sa summer, mas madaming ang population ang corn borer. Pero it's just a theoretical, hindi yan based on facts, ha. Example ko lang yon. So wala kasi akong ibang maisip. So, or you can say again that it's still not conclusive because you only use narratives and so on, and kaya wala siyang statistics. So again, to make your research very conclusive, para maka therefore conclude mo na effective yung treatment na ginamit, you really need statistics and proper experimental design on that. And for the acknowledgements, you need to acknowledge people who are behind your work. It's not really the acknowledgement that although you put acknowledgement in your manuscript, you asked the people behind your success, including your parents, your family, your friends. So makikita niyo na yan sa sample manuscript ng mga previews na nag-graduate na. But here in the IMRAD pattern, acknowledgements are those funding agencies or yung mga critics or authors or editors na hindi mo sinali as author, but then they have imparted in your research paper, no? And especially kung may funding, importante yung acknowledgement kasi like there are funding agencies like the DOST, PICARD na it's a mandatory na kailangan, or the Department of Agriculture, like if kanang kisa ba dere sa inyo ang scholar ng Department of Agriculture, sino?
Ako din.
Kami din.
So of course, you need to also acknowledge the Department of Agriculture kasi in your paper or in your publication, kasi sila yung nagbayad ng education mo or kasama na yung pag-study mo. No? So it's a mandatory. And in that way na lang parang na-acknowledge sila, parang meron silang output na nagkaroon sila ng scholar. And it's also an added points to you that, wait, DA scholar ka pala. When you say scholar kasi, you have qualifications. So when you are qualified, it doesn't only mean that you are wala kay budget, no? Kasi or publika, no, it doesn't mean like that. You are a scholar because from the word scholar, you are learned. In part, although hindi ka talaga ganun kagaling kasi or in short, magaling ka because you have that scholarship. And it's not everyone is entitled on that. Although hindi naman siguro masyadong, they say na hindi masyadong like in other scholarship, no? There are scholarship na they really screen their scholars very well and they have they maintain a high grade. So ang DA naman nagme-maintain din ng grades, 'di ba? Ivy?
Yes,
Yes,
din.
ma'am.
Yes. So you have to maintain your grades actually for when you have your scholarship. But the point is that when you are a scholar, like hindi naman kasi ang pagiging agriculturist, it's not only about brain. Although sabi nila, 'di ba, it's always the last resort of some because almost everybody wants to be a teacher and you don't even understand well na even if you're agriculturist, you can also be academics or you can be one of the instructors like us someday. No? Hindi lang pagiging education ay yun lang ang pwedeng maging teacher or instructor. And most of all, being agriculturist is a specific type of interest food, and it goes to your, kasi if you have heard the multiple intelligences, no, loving nature is one of the intelligences. No? It's also like a motor skills or kinesthetics, like when you go to gymnast or mag-gymnast ka, 'di ba? Ang Pinoy, so ito nadaugan sa Pinoy sa ano? So ito nadaugan sa Pinoy sa weightlifting. Oh, kaya niyo yun? Oh my God, no? Kaya to ni mo, Kier or Anel John? Kaya na ni mo, niya, babae pa naman siya, no?
Kayat mo ni Anil Jun, ma'am.
Kaya ni Anel.
Kaya ni mahumos, ma'am.
Isa maganya yung uyab, no?
Hala.
Anyway, so it's also part of, if you can Google in multiple intelligences, so you will know what I'm talking about. So yun na nga, ang pagiging or having heart and having the interest of taking care of nature and plants and animals is also another type of intelligence. So don't just say that you are tilling the soil, nag-gardening mo, parang ang baba na ang tingin ng iba, no? while yung blue collar jobs na mga ano ba yan, nakaano naman pero nag-service, mga services. So, it's another type of interest naman. So, again, in lastly, you will have references which referred into the text. So, again and again, yung aking reminder sa inyo, aside from in your references, aside from following the format, if you remember again, we have the MLA format and the APA format, diba? But when you go to the specific journal, meron silang own style of format. Ibig hindi, sometimes they will say, oh, we use the APA format, but not necessarily, no, parang di ko ano po nila, murag ilaha lang gi-adapt, but it's not everything in APA format. So it's their own format na, but with modifications na. So again, this is the IMRAD format. No, yung sa atin lang ay AIMRAD because of the abstract form. So, and this has been since 1940. So imagine, wala pa magipanganak, wala pa tagipanganak ani. And ito na yung main pattern for research articles in all or many disciplines, such as sociology, economics, and even medicine or nature. And it's also very common sa natural sciences. So, kasi when I was in Samo, pardon me ha, wala ko nagahambog, but I just want to share my experience. Like, kasi meron kaming exchange ng mga students na galing US as part of their scholarship, and then nagkataon lang na ako yung naging advisor niya. And her research is social research since, ano ba tawag doon? Ano ba tawag? May course na abstract literature, something like that, yung course niya. And I'm not really sure kung mo ba na, basta something abstract arts or something. No, just correct me if I'm wrong. And then what she did is that she just conducted interviews. I was included in the interview, but I was her advisor herself. And after that, after siya nag-research, ang tawag ng research niya ay the different fruits in Samoa. And then yung mga specific Samoan names ng mga fruits na ito. Kasi para sa mga Western countries, ang mga tropical fruits, although very ordinary sa atin kasi tropical, pero sa kanila, hindi nila alam yung mga ganon. Like durian, they don't know that. What else? Lychee, rambutan, yung mga ganon na mga fruits, it's not in their country. So they are like also, even papaya is also in Hawaii mostly, no? So yon. Ang ginawa niya, instead of making a very technical report, gumawa siya ng storyline or in a form of ano ba yung tula? Poem, no? And then mahilig siya kasi mag-drawing, so yung kanyang tula or poem ay may drawing and ginawa niyang book. O, diba? So may mga ganun na mga format. But then there are also, as I have said, the IMRAD structure. So let's say another point also is the title. So let's talk about your title. No, who wants to share? Any one of you who wants to share? How did you, Lance or Mary Rose? How did you make your title? Are you still there?
Research lang, ma'am. Huwag ka ng ano.
Ang sa'yo mong title, Lance? Sorry, nakuan man si Lance na choppy. So, the title is very important kasi the title itself can catch attention and interest to the readers, but it should be accurate and very informative, but it shouldn't be like a one paragraph or too lengthy, no? Gamay, short lang siya, but it's very informative and catchy. So there are only few words, as I have said, and it will represent everything. Or you can write it as a statement or in a subtitle then. So parang 2 words, subtitle na yun, or 3. Or a sentence form, pwede na siyang title. So of course, you know already what is that, no? So these are examples, no? And you have done that already. Effects of drought, aging, and phosphorus status on leaf acid phosphatase activity in rice, or acid phosphatase activity in rice leaves, effects of drought, aging, and phosphorus type. So those are example, and I know you are very already well adapted to that. This is so mini summary of the paper na yung title. So now let's talk about authors. So ang pinaka-importante in writing or technical writing is yung first author. It should be the person who carried out most of the work reported. So siya yung responsible in submitting the paper, in writing the paper. And after that, other workers that like help the paper and so on will be kung gaano kabigat yung kanilang na-contribute sa paper, ganun din ang pagkasunod-sunod ng order of contribution. So, and usually yung scientist who oversaw the work is usually placed the last, yung para bang, like for me, no, kung isasalin nyo ako sa mga mga publications ninyo, which is to your advantage kasi like I could be a person with reputation already when in terms of research and publication. So when I am included to your paper, then the people would believe you as much as they believe me or they know me, no? So mas magandang ganon. And usually ako, or yung name ko is nasa last kasi ako yung parang editor, something like that. So, and the authors that are listed should be aware. Alam nila na nagsusulat ka pala ng ganyan. Oh my God. So 10 minutes. And it should be agreed everything. So lahat alam. So yun lang, no? Pag author ka, alam mo na ay kasali ka pala. And isang journal website says comment on authorship. So check the website of your target journal. So like you will also all agree kung anong journal ang gagamitin niyo. And names of all authors and the style of the journal should be followed. Like sometimes first name, full name, middle initial only, and so on. And you don't need to really say if it's a male or female, no? Equal lang yun in terms of writing. Ewan ko ba saan nila nakuha yan? Na kapag babae or lalaki, no? Kailangan indicate. That's why if in some foreign countries, you would really know what type of gender they have, no? Kasi hindi, like for names, no? Hindi natin alam kung ano ang gender. Alam ni like for example, ano bang alam ko na pangalan? Na hindi mo alam yung gender, any one of you. Like Piman, kung alam nyo kung ang Piman, lalaki or babae. Kasi at first, kanang when Piman contacted me to be a collaborator for research, so I was thinking, ano kaya ito siya, lalaki, babae? And he was actually using China as his, so lalaki talaga siya, as his residence or parang affiliation. But then I found out later na Russian pala siya. And he's so pogi, oh my God. Anyways, joke lang. So you should give also address no, for each author. So if you notice doon sa mga na-list ko na mga papers, after the name, meron siyang one na ang tawag ka lang. Nasa taas, sorry nakalimot ko. Para siyang like kung dari no, so na ay 1, dari na ay 2. So and below this one, ang one like saan galing siyang affiliation, no? Like Rizal Memorial Colleges. The Rizal Memorial Colleges, yung si Simpson naman nasa sa may gwapo na fund or University of Wales, ganon. So kailangan may addresses. Naka footnote, but hindi footnote yung sinasabi ko. What I mean. So you have seen that for sure. So sa abstract naman, we have already talked about it. Na ang abstract is very short, no, usually 200 words. Sometimes it can be decreased to 150 words, but there are also abstract na 1 paragraph lang. That means 50 words lang siya. Depende po na siya sa style and requirements for each journal. So in short, it's just a summary ng main findings, conclusion of the paper, methods, and everything. So these are the abstracts information. There are what we call indicative abstract. No? May mga type siya. So but for informative abstract, meron siyang, this will answer the questions. Why did you start? Why did you start this topic? What did you do and how? And what did you find? And what do your findings mean? So that's informative abstract. So as you can see here, 250 words, and the whole article can be 2,000 to 500 words, and 100 words for short communications. No, may meron ding mga parang introduction pa lang sa research, hindi pa tapos. So parang meron kang announcement, so mga short communication yan. But meron na siyang a little result. And so of course, definitely wala talaga siyang mga diagrams, tables, words lang siya lahat. No? So you don't even need to put all the information. Kung ano lang yung striking and most important. So we have another one, indicative abstract. These are general statements describing what is in the text, giving readers general idea of the contents of the paper, but little specific details. So yun yung sinasabi ko na 50 words lang siya, and they're used in field reports, long papers such as review articles, and for books of chapters in books. So they say lazy way of writing abstract daw siya. And sometimes, mostly in the journal, they don't use the indicative abstract, but rather the informative abstract. We also have structured abstract na meron siyang nakalagay. This is an example. Meron siyang background, meron siyang purpose, methods, results, and conclusions. So sa structured abstract, yes. So usually not exceeding 300 words, pwede rin. So sa abstract, iba pa yung talagang, so na structured siya kasi meron talagang nakalagay na ano siya, purpose ba siya or methods and conclusion. So next after the abstract is yung keywords natin. Why do we use keywords? Kasi yung keywords, you don't only copy the title, no? You talk of topics na pasok yung paper or title mo. Let's say ang title mo is agriculture practices in Davao region, or the best practices in agricultural practices in Davao region, for example. So pwedeng ang keywords mo dito ay agriculture practices, then Davao region. So although kinopya mo lang talaga yung title. But then these keywords are also very important kasi ito yung pag-search ng mga tao or ng mga readers, yun yung unang makikita nila or yun yung parang reference nila. For indexing, ginagamit din ng mga journal para ma-index siya. So on. So next. So again, the IMRAD format is a well-established approach to writing and publishing scientific research. So after the keywords, you are going to make the introduction na. So in the introduction, it's usually answer the question, why did you do the work, diba? And what did you want to find out? So parang rationale siya, in other words. So again, may 3 parts siya, background of the work and brief review of the relevant literature. Kaya nga in a publication journal, hindi na kailangan ng review of related literature. Pang manuscript lang na siya nga style. Kasi naka-embed na siya doon sa introduction. And this will allow the reader na, kaya pala, nagamit na siya pala before, or hindi pala talaga siya nagamit, no, ever since. So, for the first time pa lang siya, no? Or, sa US pala galing yung virus na yon. So, the logic that led you to the work and your hypothesis. So, why do you care about, no? Nga naman, kasi very destructive siya nga pest in let's say in banana industry. And then what's your hypothesis? Siguro if you're going to apply more fertilizer, maybe in the growth, the yield, not only yield will increase, but also yung kanyang resistance to pests and diseases. Parang ganon. And then the clear statement of the objectives of the work. Therefore, this study is conducted to test the efficacy of this and that, no? So, dapat logical siya, no? It doesn't mean na when we say logic, that it's the science of reasoning. So, you don't only do this research or topic just because may rason talaga, no? Just because wala lang,